Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 4. This week, we are wrapping up our narrative argument paper, and so we have some assignments coming up I just want to go over. So our first assignment for this week is the MLA page. What I'm going to be doing for this is just kind of making sure that your MLA formatting looks right. And so I have a few resources down here at the bottom that'll help you just kind of make sure you know exactly what to look for, what a sample essay that's in MLA would look like, so that you can make sure your essay is formatted correctly. And so these are going to be the things I'm looking for specifically. I'm looking for double spacing. I'm looking for a header with all the correct parts. I'm looking for your title being centered and not bold or underlined. And I'm looking for a page number in the top right corner with your last name next to it. A lot of people don't know how to do this. It changes a lot, so I've had to change the way that I've explained it. But here's a video where I go over how to insert a page number. Okay. Our next assignment for this week, this is going to also be due on Monday, is the Brosh reading notes. So this is our last reading notes assignment for the narrative argument paper. I'm very sad. These are my favorite readings of the semester, but we are going to be reading potentially your favorite reading of the semester. A lot of my students really love this one. It's Depression Part 2 by Brosh. And so what it's going to do is it's going to talk about a pretty serious topic, depression, right? And it's going to be, kind of contrasted with this very kind of silly, light art, bright, colorful art. I do want to give you a little bit of a heads up. You might be able to tell by the topic, it is going to cover some serious content, including suicidal ideation. And so it's not going to be like graphic or anything, but it is going to discuss that. And so if there's any kind of issue, like if that is something that you really are not in the right place to read about, please let me know. I can give you an alternate reading. And in fact, I could probably give you another Brosh reading because she has written a lot of these. This is just probably my favorite one. Okay, and then final assignment for this week, other than getting your peer or getting your narrative argument in on Sunday, is the peer review of the narrative argument. And so I went in and I made sure that this is going to be due. So it's going to be due at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. And I know that's kind of weird, but I wanted to make sure that most of you who are used to doing, a lot of you have a lot going on and you've parceled out time for different classes. And so I wanted to make sure that you had as much time as possible on Wednesday to get this peer review done. And so you might be wanting to get this draft in by Tuesday night, especially those of you who are more night owls. If you wake up early, then go ahead and take a few more minutes to work on this before Wednesday. Your narrative argument draft only needs to be approximately 2 pages long. It's okay if it's a little bit shorter than that. It's okay if it's longer than that. It's okay if it just needs to be around that. And what I'm looking for in terms of your feedback to your peer. So basically what's going to happen is that you're going to get an email from Canvas that is going to give you access to another student's draft in the class. And they'll have access to your draft. And then you can give each other feedback. You can either make marks, like highlights and things like that, like tag little comments on it. Or you can write a long form comment in the comment box. I think it's on the right side of the page if it's the same as mine. And if you have any questions about, if you're having issues getting your peer review and things like that, getting to it, there's a link here that I hope will be helpful. Also, one of the biggest problems with peer review is people don't submit their draft on time. And so if you submit late, I do have the ability to go in and manually assign, but just know that the peer reviews will be assigned at 9:15 a.m. on Wednesday. I gave you a little wiggle room in case there's some technical difficulties or something. But like I said, I want people to have as much time as possible to provide the peer review because I know a lot of us are busy. So you'll have until the end of the day on Thursday to submit those comments, okay? I would love for you to give feedback that is like based on your insight, what you're noticing about the draft. And I've really found that my online students' peer review feedback is so great. I think because I've left it more open-ended. I am including a peer review sheet here, though. If you're feeling a little bit like I could use more guidance on what kind of feedback to give, there are some prompt questions in here that could be helpful as well. All right, I think that's everything for this week. I hope you have a great week, and I'm really looking forward to reading these essays.